Hey guitar friends, welcome back to the channel. First thing, if you like what you see, please subscribe, I really appreciate it. Today we're looking at a solo by Ariel Posen, and he's one of my favorite guitar players. I think he has a great sense of harmony, and therefore I thought it would be interesting to have a look at. In this clip he's playing at Norman's rare guitars, and I think he's just improvising, so it's a really good insight into his mind to see what he's thinking when he's playing. Also, we're doing things a little bit differently today because I'm not able to play along because of two things. The first thing is obvious, I cannot play slide like Ariel and I have to practice, I know. The second thing is Ariel is playing really freely, so there's no sense of time. So rhythmically it was difficult to play along. But don't worry, in the notation the notes are right, so enjoy the solo and I hope to see you next time. Wow, what a great improvisation by Ariel. Let's have a look at what he's doing. He's starting with triads, so an A triad, B minor triad, D triad, F sharp minor triad, A triad. And they're inversions, so we see a different note in the bass. These triads are coming from the key of A major, so he's starting to play in the key of A major. He's going to the 5 chord from the key of A, the E chord, so E, G sharp, B, and then he's playing an augmented chord, E augmented, so the B is raised to a B sharp, which is sounding like a C natural, E augmented. Going back to the 1 chord, the A chord, A major chord, he's playing a C natural, which is kind of a bluesy feel. Here again the same thing with the C natural, the B and the A. He's going to the D, so he's thinking the D chord, and here he's playing F natural going to F sharp, which is the minor 3 going to the major 3 of the D chord, which again is really bluesy. This is also a nice lick. It's a chromatic approach to the C sharp, so I have an E flat or D sharp, D, E going to a C sharp, so he's playing chromatically to the C sharp, which is the major 3 of the A chord, so he's going back to the A chord, so we have the progression 1, 4, 1, A, D, A. Here it's still over the A chord, but he's playing a G natural, which is the 7th of the A chords, again for the bluesy feel. But here he's going to a G sharp, which implies the 5 chord, the E chord. And here we have a chromatic run, G sharp, G, F sharp. In thirds, also the E, D sharp, D. And going back to the G sharp and the E. And then over here we have the C natural again, or the B sharp, which again is the E augmented chord, so the 5 chord. So we're back at the 1 chord, and you can see it by the notes because we have a C sharp, which is the major third of the A chord. We have the root, the A, the E, the D, the A, and here again for the bluesy feel, C natural going to C sharp, so minor 3 going to major 3, back to A, so this is really outlining an A chord. Also here we have the G natural, so we're thinking A7. And again for the bluesy feel we have the flat 5, the 4, so E flat or D sharp, D, going to a C natural again, the minor 3, again blues, and then over here going to a D. So here we're thinking the 4 chord again, the D chord. Then here it's all over a D chord or a D7 because we're playing the C natural, which is the 7th of the D chord. So A, F sharp, C, A, B, F sharp, A, F sharp, C, A. It's all notes from the D chord. Then we're over here, this is also a nice chromatic run. F sharp, G, G sharp, then B, E. So this is really an E triad, the 5 chord. But then also with the chromatic run, it's really nice. E, D sharp, D, and a D and an F sharp. So this is really a D triad, the 4 chord. And then over here we have an A, again with the minor 3 going to the major 3, so really bluesy, C, C sharp, E, A. So this is really an A triad, so 5, 4, 1. Then over here, this is implying a D7 chord, because we have the C natural, E which is the 9, A is the 5th. Here we're going to the F sharp, which is the major 3, the 13, and then over here we're going to the 1 chord. We have an A, a C sharp, and an E. Here a little chromatic run again, going to a D, F sharp, and a B, and the D is resolving into the C sharp from the A chord. And also over here A, C sharp. So this is implying the 1 chord. We're staying at the 1 chord over here. This is the C sharp, but it's going to the C. So the major 3 going to the minor 3, again for that really bluesy feel, minor, major. Again, this is still over the A chord. But over here it is going to a D chord, because we're going with a chromatic run, E, F, F sharp. So it's going to the major 3 of a D chord. And here he's doing the same thing. So F sharp, A, B. But then, this is nice, an F natural, which implies a D minor chord, which is the 4 minor. And 4 minor is a progression that's used a lot of times, and it's like a borrowed chord from the parallel minor key. So you're borrowing a chord from A minor, which is the D minor. And you hear it a lot, and Ariel does it a bunch of times in this improvisation. So we're going to see it more times. Here is going back to the A chord with a C sharp, resolving into an A. And then, this is also nice, we're playing an A sharp, which implies the secondary dominant F sharp 7, which is the dominant for the 2 chord, the B minor chord. So we have the A sharp, which is the major 3 of the F sharp chord, and they have a G, which is the flat 9, and then we have a grammatic approach to the F sharp from the 2 chord, the B minor chord. So this part, you're really thinking the 2 chord, the B minor, and after the 2 chord, the 5 chord comes, which is over here, and that's true because we're playing a G sharp and a G. So we're at the 5 chord, the E7, and he's playing a long grammatic run. This is a really nice run. So you have D, F sharp, F, C sharp, E, D sharp, D sharp, D, C natural, E. I'm seeing this whole thing as E7, so the 5 chord, and I'm seeing this as a long grammatic run going back to the 1 chord, the A chord. Here still we're playing an A chord, and this is actually also from the A major pentatonic scale. And here again we have a grammatic approach with the F sharp to the major 3 of the D chord, so here we're thinking the D chord. Then we're doing something new. This is really nice, an E flat diminished arpeggio, which is the raised 4. Also taking from the blues progression. You see it a lot in the blues, a raised 4, and he's really playing the arpeggio, and it's resolving to A major triad, C sharp, A, E, D is going to the C natural, so again for the bluesy feel. And here again we have the secondary dominant F sharp with the raised A, the A sharp, going to the 2, the B minor. Then we're at the 5 chord, the E7, and we're playing an A going to a G sharp, so the sus4 going to the major 3. And then over here we have an F natural, which is the flat 9, E, D. So we're playing a nice run to the C sharp of the A chord, the 1 chord. And this part is a really nice run, F, E, D, C sharp. And actually is a really jazzy lick. You hear it a lot of times. The flat 9 going to the E, the D going to the C sharp. And also over here again with the bluesy feel, C natural, C sharp, so minor 3, major 3 of the 1 chord, the A chord. The same thing over here, C natural, C sharp, minor 3, major 3, A. Over here still the A chord, A, C sharp, E, C sharp. This is actually an A triad, A major triad. Then we're going back to the 4 chord, to the D chord. We're playing an F sharp and an A, so the major 3 and the 5th. This again is the D triad, and it's becoming a D7 because we're playing the C natural and an A and a B, F sharp, A, B, A, F sharp, E. This implies a bluesy lick, a D7 chord, and then, like I mentioned before, the F sharp becomes the F natural, so the D becomes a D minor, the 4 minor chord again. It's sounding really good. Here again, this is also a really nice run. An E, C sharp, A, F. So this is all over a D minor chord. You can actually think the C sharp is the major 7 of the D minor chord. So D minor, major 7. We're going back to the 1 chord. Again with the C natural, C sharp. So again the bluesy feel. Actually it's a chromatic run starting on the B. So B, C, C sharp. Chromatic run going up to a high A. And this is nice. He's going down in 6th intervals. So you have C sharp, A, G sharp, B, A, F sharp. Really sounding good. It's really nice lick. Here again for the bluesy feel, the minor 3. This again taken from the A major pentatonic scale. Then we have again a chromatic thing in thirds. So a chromatic run in thirds going back to the A and the C sharp. So this is also over the A chord. This part still over the A chord. Again with the minor major C, C sharp. A major arpeggio over here. This part you can see as sus4 resolving to the major 3, so the D going to the C sharp, E going to the the F sharp going to the E. Really nice lick. Then over here, this is also nice. We have a D and an A. It's going to D sharp and an A. You can think of it again as the E flat diminished or the raised 4, so D sharp diminished. But it's also part of the secondary dominant B7, so the 2 chord but then a dominant chord. And look what he's doing. He's playing the B7 chord. Again, A, D sharp. This is a part of the B7 chord. The same thing over here, B7 chord. Then over here, you can still think the B7 chord because you have the F sharp and the A, which is the 5th and the 7th, the E and the G sharp, sus4 and the 13, going to the D sharp, important note, the major 3 of the B chord, and then going with the chromatic run, F sharp, F, E, back to the 5 chord. And Ariel is playing the 5 chord. He's actually playing all the notes from the 5 chord instead of implying the chords. Here again an E triad. This part also E triad, arpeggiated. still over the 5 chord over here. Then we have E, D sharp, D, going to the C sharp. So this whole thing is a chromatic run to the major 3 of the 1 chord. And this is still implying the 1 chord, E, F sharp, E, C sharp. And then again, here it is, D minor, again the D, the F natural, and A. So this is a D minor arpeggio. Really nice again, the 4 minor chord. Going back to the 1 chord with the bluesy run, with the flat 5, the E flat or D sharp. Again, C, C sharp, minor, going to major. This is again the A triad. And then we're back again with the E flat diminished or D sharp diminished chord. Here is playing the D sharp diminished arpeggio. And it's resolving into a E7 chord, so the 5 chord. But with the 7, the 9, here high D, B, F sharp. And then over here, we're still thinking and hearing, or he's still implying the 5 chord, E7 chord. And I wrote down sus4 at the previous bar, because here we have the A going to the G sharp. And here we have again the F natural, which is the flat 9 of the E7 chord. And then you have a diminished triad, and he's moving those triads in minor 3 intervals, which is sounding really nice, which is this part. It's also something you hear a lot in jazz, and you can also sometimes hear it in pop tunes. It's really common, it's sounding really good. And it's resolving again to the 1 chord, an A chord. We have an A triad, major triad, so the 1 chord. And again here, the 4 minor chord with the 6, so D minor 6, the B is the 6. Really nice, going back to the 1 chord, again, A major triad, A major triad. Again, a really nice improvisation by Ariel.